Bopping through the streets with the leak, Timberland cleats. Play the field where we shoot for the stars, ain't hard to reach. Peep the repertoire, skeet off the Thule, dump in the reservoir. Take a swig of Pinot Noir, hop in my foreign car. Bon voyage, I-95, passing the city streets from where we creepin', backseat sleep. Watching quantum leap and play for keeps. Rules of the game, no time for referee. Don't step to me, I slap the clipboard. Ain't no coaching me, cost me plenty, but fortunately I came at even, far from thieving. Credit card scam, shames, and all misdeeding. Not misleading, team was deceiving. All the non-believers, streets ain't where you make achievements. Invest in what you most believe in. I left some jewels on my nightstand, and you can keep it. 22s under my bed with covers to sleep with. It's no secret I'm teaching, niggas only leeching. The streets prey on the weakling seeking, that's how they eatin'. I'm front seat at the beacon, reeking, I'm probably chiefin'. Got a shorty fine, she half black and Puerto Rican. I'm reaching, not for my gun but for my gap, bitch. I need a black Benz and a chick like SS Atkins. Let's get it crackin', life is good, I'm so fortunate. Watch out for orphan kids with cold hearts like an abortionist. The road we often miss with twists and turns like contortionists. The block is scorching, kid, you holding heat, you an arsonist. The streets is all a myth, I got some piff that we all can twist. Blow the mist, my hustle content, shit, hand over fist. We take the risk, blow on the dice, put in all your chips. Take my advice, we living right, we can all get rich. Slow down, son, you killing them. Slow down, son, you killing them.
The guy I met 2 weeks ago at the Justice Ball.
Is he rich, handsome, rich? And remember, 2 out of 3 isn't bad.
He's sensitive, funny, and he has great taste. Look at these cute shoes.
Yo, 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 yo. I am in the building. Welcome to the Check-in Report, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the building. Glad to be back. Glad to be on another live with you. Today we have a topic tonight. Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe is back, ladies and gentlemen. Sleepy Joe. Don't we love Sleepy Joe? Sleepy Joe has returned to us. And he's making his first speech back into the he's making his first speech back ever since he left his office, after he got kicked on his keister out of the office. He's doing his first speech, and I thought it would be fun to react. We haven't done a political show in a while. Why not? Let's react to Joe Biden, his first speech back. After doing his 4 years, doing a terrible job. But I want you guys to give me your opinion. Do you feel like Joe Biden was the worst president ever? Do you feel like he was meh, you're kind of indifferent to it? Or do you feel like he was a good president? I want to know your opinion, because my opinion, do I feel like he was the worst president? No, I don't feel like Joe Biden was the worst. But he was pretty bad. But maybe some of you feel different. Maybe you guys feel like he was a pretty good president. Maybe you guys feel like he was a good president. Maybe you guys feel indifferent to the thing. I don't know. But I want to know how you guys feel. But we're going to take a gander at Joe Biden doing a speech. His first speech back since since Kamala Harris lost the election and Trump took office. So let's get into the speech here.
Our keynote speaker was the 46th president of the United States. So
the keynote speaker,
the strongest defender of Social Security the American people have ever had, President Joe Biden.
Old Man River. Old Man River. We just keep walking. Let's make it real old and racist. Mammy. Let's play some Al Jolson. That's what he should be coming out to, some Al Jolson or something like that. Let's get into the speech. They still playing music. Let's get into the speech. Sleepy Joe is in the building, y'all. Sleepy Joe. I know some of you guys miss him. You guys hate Donald Trump so much. You got Sleepy Joe tonight. Let's see what Sleepy Joe has to say.
My dad, the Biden family, started off in Baltimore. They don't say Baltimore. It's Baltimore. In Baltimore. And but we've been friends for a long time. And I just want to say at the outset.
Stop it, Joe Biden. You never called it Baltimore. You didn't call it Baltimore. You never talk like that. You know, when your family got to Baltimore, they were the first ones to colonize it. That's how old Joe Biden is. His family was the first one to colonize Baltimore. Stop it.
Anybody on your team, whether it's an athletic team, whether you're in a battle, whether it's a political team, whether it's a team just trying to help, you want O'Malley. The guy has guts. No, I mean this sincerely. He not only has political courage, has physical courage. He's across the board. If ever want anybody standing next to me, I want O'Malley.
What is this old man talking about? Old Man River. Old Man River. He just keep walking. I don't know what he's talking. He just starts rambling on about Baltimore, and then he starts rambling. What are you rambling about, Joe Biden? I'm confused. This is his first speech since leaving office. I'm trying to figure out what is he rambling about. This is his first speech back. I do want to hear what he has to say. Let's get back into it.
There with me, and I mean that sincerely. It really matters. You know, I always kid Maryland because Delaware, the second smallest state, we share the eastern shore of Maryland with Maryland. But we're close friends. And folks, you know, it's no surprise that he did a hell of a job when I asked him to be commissioner of the Social Security. And the reason I did that is not an ordinary transition for a governor.
So wait a minute, because the guy that was speaking before, he was saying that Joe Biden was the best in terms of Social Security. But when we heard from Trump and we heard from Elon Musk, we heard about all of these people abusing Social Security. People reportedly being as old as 130. There was one person that they found that was older than America itself. So there was a lot of people abusing Social Security, but you had the person who's running Social Security claiming that Joe Biden did a great job. I don't know how he was doing a great job when there was so many people abusing the Social Security. Let's continue.
But I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I knew we needed someone with some guts, some toughness, who'd fight for every single penny that it needed, that would try to restore the integrity.
What are you talking about, Joe Biden? There was people that were abusing the Social Security system. There were people that were being reportedly older, as like I'm talking about 125, 130. Donald Trump did a whole speech about how there was millions of people abusing Social Security. You wasn't fighting for every penny. You was damn near giving the money away to scammers, shammers, fraudsters. You was giving the damn money away, and that's how we're going to look back at your presidency, Joe Biden. We're going to look back at your presidency as someone who was just giving away money to scam artists. You gave money to all these different countries. You allowed, the Democrats to scam you into all these different programs where they were defrauding money from the government. We're going to remember you as the old grandparent that gets scammed, by robocalls. That's how we're going to remember you, Joe Biden. That's what your presidency will go down as. The old grandparent that gets scammed by robocalls. That's how we're going to remember you.
The system. And to everyone here today, I want to thank you, all of you, very much for this award. It means a great deal to me coming from you. And I mean that sincerely. It means a great deal. You're in the front lines every single day. You're helping. You're advocating for your fellow Americans with disabilities.
Texas Repo says Sleepy Joe. Sloppy Joe. Benadryl Joe, Dayquil Joe, NyQuil Joe, nighttime and daytime cough Joe, Robitussin Joe. It's been a while since I've said that. It's been a while. It feels good to say that.
It's a big deal. We talk about what happened in the physical side of it if we didn't have Social Security. Think of what the psychic calm gives so many people who just don't know where to go.
And I want to ask y'all, do y'all feel like there is some mental decline there? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm trying to kind of like, listen to this speech, but I'm not really understanding where he's going with this speech. I'm still trying to understand but let me know what you guys think of this speech from Joe Biden. Let me know.
Don't know how to traverse what needs to be done, or alone. Last fall on the White House lawn, we celebrated the anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. As a United States Senator 400 years ago, I was looking back on it. God almighty, I've been doing this 50 years. It's hell turning 40 years old, anyway. But back in the year 1990, I was the co-sponsor of the Americans with Disabilities Act as a United States Senator.
Don't forget, in the 1990s, he also supported the what was that? The 1990 crime bill, the 1990 crime bill, Bill Clinton, super predator. Don't forget, he was a proponent of that. And massively incarcerated black men at a high proportion than their white counterparts. He was a proponent of that. He supported that. This man has a terrible record. I mean, he had the nerve to tell black people at one point in time that, hey, you're not black if you're not voting for me. But you've done so much to harm black people. You've done so much to harm our communities. You've done so much to harm black men from our communities. But here you are acting like you were a patron saint of our community when you've actually done nothing for our community. You and Barack Obama and Kamala. Let's continue.
In my view, and I suspect many of you, was one of the most consequential civil rights laws in American history. That's what got me involved in politics in the first place. Delaware, like Maryland, was one.
Somebody says Joe sending money to the African prince. Yeah, Joe is like that grandmother or that grandfather that you have to call them and let them know, hey, grandma, grandpa, if anybody calls you talking about send them some money from Africa, some Nigerian prince, send me money. Don't send them anything. He's like that grandparent you have to call. You have to call some of your grandparents and let them know, like, yo, grandma, grandpa, if anybody calls you talking about send them some money in the mail or yada, 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 do not send them nothing. That's what Joe Biden essentially is. He got frauded by so many people within the government, foreign leaders, different things, different places. He just signed away. Stacey Abrams, you have a program, some type of environmental program. You only made $100 last year. Let me sign this thing for you where you can get $100 million. After it was all money fraud. Yeah, he's like that grandparent you have to call and tell them, listen, don't send no money through the mail. Texas Repo says, don't try to understand Biden. You'll find out things you don't want to know. I don't want to understand Biden, but I feel like, when people look back at his presidency, we're going to ask ourselves a question. Was he a good president? Was he a bad president? I feel like, people are going to look back at his presidency and wonder if he was a good president or not. Me personally, I feel like he was a bad president. He did a piss poor job. But there's people that feel like he may have been a good president. Some people feel like the American public is a little too harsh on him. Right? But yeah, let's get back into the speech.
One of those states was a slave state. We had all the vestiges of what was going on back in the day. We were one of those states that still, I remember moving from Scranton, Pennsylvania down to Wilmington, Delaware, and Cole died. My dad moved back to where he had we could get a job. And remember, I pulled into my mom would drive.
I need you to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Everybody that's sitting here, hit that like button. Everybody that's in there, you're helping me getting this video. I'm trying to get back into these algorithms. Hit that like button, y'all. Just hit that like button, please.
Us on the Philadelphia Pike connecting Wilmington and Philadelphia, and we lived in an apartment complex, and she'd drive us only about half a mile to Holy Rosary School in Claymont, but it was so dangerous she wouldn't let us walk up because of access road. And remember,
I'm really trying to understand what he's saying here. Is this? I just feel like he's just like rambling. Like when them old people, you let them talk for a while, they just start rambling. Then you just kind of lose focus on what is this person really talking about. No, I feel like he's kind of just rambling, kind of.
Pulling into the parking lot, and I had never seen hardly any black people.
Oh my goodness! He said, this. I am so tired of Jim Crow Joe. I want that back. Tell us the first time you seen your first Negro, Joe Biden. Tell us the first time you seen your first Negro, Joe Biden.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Joe Biden is getting ready to tell us the first time he's seen his first Negro.
Moved back to where we could get a job. And remember,
I had to rewind it back.
My mom would drive us on the Philadelphia Pike connecting Wilmington and Philadelphia, and we lived in an apartment complex, and she'd drive us only about half a mile to Holy Rosary School in Claymont, but it was so dangerous she wouldn't let us walk up because of access road. And I remember pulling into the parking lot, and I had never seen hardly any black people.
He was about to say colored person. Sleepy Joe was about to say I had never seen a colored person before. Yeah, let us know, Joe Biden. When was the first time you seen your first Negro? What did you shout out the window when you first saw your first Negro? Get back to work, Negro. Get back to work, nigger. Don't drink from that fountain, nigger. That's a white only's fountain, nigger. What did you yell out the window, Joe Biden? A lot of these older white people, they wanna act like they wasn't participating in the racism. A lot of these older, these 70-year-old white people, they wanna act like, no, I was with Dr. King and we was marching and we was out there and I was doing it for civil rights. I was helping the blacks. A lot of these older white people, they participated in the racism, in my opinion.
You don't find that suspicious?
They was down with the racism.
You don't find that
the colored water fountains.
You don't find that suspicious?
They was fine with it. They wasn't speaking up. Don't when you see a lot of these older white people, don't think for a second that they were I walked with Dr. King and I was no. They were complacent with the racism. They were complacent with the segregation. They were complacent with the white supremacy structure. He's going to tell us the first time he's seen his first Negro. Ridiculous.
And I was only going in fourth grade. And I remember seeing the kids going by at the time called colored kids on a bus going by. They never turned right to go to Claymont High School. I wondered why. Asked my mom, why? So in Delaware.
You didn't ask why. I think that's all cap. That's all cap.
They're not allowed to go to school, in public school, with white kids, honey.
That's all cap. That's all cap. I don't believe Joe Biden. I don't think Sleepy Joe gave a damn about black kids and where they went to school at. First of all, he was probably too young to even really care.
or to know what was going on. I highly doubt that he cared, and I highly doubt it.
That sparked my sense of outrage as a kid, just like.
Yeah, you didn't spark your sense of outrage. You was too busy picking boogers and missing class to care about the social structure and the race issues and inequalities in America. I don't believe for a second you cared about that for a second. I don't believe that.
Like it does. I mean, and these young kids right here can tell you things affect them when they learn about something that's really just unfair and unjust. You know, my dad was an honorable man. And my dad used to have an expression. He said, Joey, your job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect.
Hey, Sleepy Joe, we want to know the first time we want to hear more stories about you when you saw your first Negro. Go back to that. No. Don't try to switch to your dad. We want to hear when you saw your first Negro. When Joe Biden saw his first Negro, he probably went up. He probably thought the people were dirty. Hey, mama, why are those people's skin so dirty? Do they take baths? He was one of those little hunky kids that thought the black people he saw thought that their skin was dirty. He didn't think it was their skin. He was like, yo, why are these people so dirty? Sleepy Joe, Jim Crow Joe. Tell us the first time you seen your first Negro, Joe Biden. Did you hop on one of their backs? Let me hop on this Negro's back. Take me down to the grocery store, nigga. Tell us the real story, Jim Crow Joe. Tell us the real story when you saw your first Negro back in 1957. Don't give us this don't give us this civil rights, Martin Luther King. We shall overcome. Don't give us that story. Give us the real story, because we know the real story. The real story is you saw your first Negro and you thought they were dirty. All these liberals and all these Democrats want to make it sound like they was with MLK and I was with Rosa Parks and we were fighting for civil rights. That's cap. That's cap. It's all cap. They was with the inequalities. They was with the racial inequalities. They was with the segregation. They was with it. At the time, it worked for them. Hey, y'all, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We in here tonight. We're breaking down this Joe Biden speech. This is his first speech since leaving office. We got 21 people in the building. Hit that like button. I need you to hit that like button. I'm trying to get back in the algorithm. I'm trying to get back on the hamster wheel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We're talking about Jim Crow Joe tonight. If you're a fan of Jim Crow Joe tonight, I need to know. If you are a hater of Jim Crow Joe, I need to know. I'm a hater of Jim Crow Joe. I need to know if you're rocking with me tonight. Let me know if you're rocking with me. Let's get back to the speech. Get back to the speech. He's telling us the first time he's seen his first Negro.
You don't find that suspicious?
Let's get back to that story.
It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. Well, that's what you're all about. That's what the legislation is about. It's about dignity, simple dignity. Everyone.
It's the first energy he had all night. He finally put some energy in his voice. Because every time Jim Crow Joe speaks, it sounds like somebody put a nail and hammer to his balls. He's all speaking under his breath, man. He sounds like he's on the toilet constipated with a glass of prune juice up to his lips. He just sounds like, it don't sound like he got any testosterone flowing through that body. Get back to it.
Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity.
You didn't treat black people with dignity. Jim Crow Joe, you didn't treat black people with dignity. You told black people, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Where was the respect? Where was the dignity? You thought black people were so uneducated, so stupefied, so idiotic that they didn't deserve to make an educated guess at the voting booth. They didn't deserve to say, hey, let me vote for the ideals and principles and the things that I believe in. You thought so low of black people that, hey, Negro, let me make the choice for you. You ain't black if you ain't voting for me. That was disgusting. You didn't show black people no dignity. You didn't show black people no respect. But you think you a patriot saint of dignity and respect now? Don't fool yourself, Joe. Don't fool yourself.
Regardless of their standing, regardless of the economic situation, regardless of who they are, making sure that more than 60 million Americans who are living with disabilities are treated with dignity is who we are as Americans. That's what.
Like I said, Joe, you did not show any dignity or respect to black people. You don't have any respect.
It's about.
I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button, y'all.
I mean it. Dignity at work, at school, in their communities, in every corner of American life. Laws like the ADA need advocates like you. You're the ones that keep it going, God love you. You fight like hell every single day to make sure the law is respected and your clients' rights are protected. So from the bottom of my heart, I mean this. I give you my word as a Biden. From the bottom of my heart.
What does your word as a Biden really mean? He just said, I give you my word as a Biden. Joe Biden, what does your word mean as a Biden? You in your presidency said, I remember, you said that you would not use the office to pardon your son. Do you remember? Do you guys remember? He said he would not use his political power and stance in the office to pardon his son. What did he do on his last day in office? He pardoned not only his son, but his whole damn family. What does your word mean then? You lied to the American people. You lied to the American people. And we've been getting lied to for a long time. You said that you had the mental skills and the mental capacity to run for another term. We found that was a lie. So what does your word really mean as a Biden? You've lied on multiple occasions to the American people. You lied. You lied. Millions and millions and millions of dollars defrauded from the government. You lied. Millions and millions of people crossing the border. You said it was the most secure border of all time. Well, there's no problem at the border. Fentanyl pouring into the country. Gang violence pouring into the country. Sex crimes happening. Little children being victimized. You lied. So your word as a Biden means absolutely, positively nothing.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Your word as a Biden doesn't mean anything. It's not worth the cost of tea in China. That's getting hit with the terrorists right now. It's not worth it.
I say thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your commitment to the dignity of all Americans.
Hey, I need y'all to hit that like button. I only got 7 likes. Hit that like button, y'all. I'm trying to get back into this algorithm. The algorithm been low lately. I need y'all to hit that like button for me. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Keep voting. Keep voting on the poll. Let me know what you think of the Biden presidency, but please hit that like button for me. Please hit that like button for me.
Americans, because that's what ultimately this is about. Folks, today I want to talk to you about an issue that's front and center right now for millions of Americans, Social Security. You know, some of you may know the Democrats have declared today the Save Social Security National Action Day, National Day of Action.
The Democrats saving Social Security? The Democrats are the same ones that's been effing up the Social Security. They're the same ones. We all saw what Elon Musk and Donald Trump said in terms of Social Security. There are people defrauding the government of Social Security. There are people in other countries that are defrauding the America for Social Security. And we also have people here that are defrauding the government. We have, there was, they said it was millions of people that were over the age of 125 requesting Social Security. That's absolutely positively impossible. The government has been being defrauded from Social Security. So the Democrats, they've been asleep at the wheel. They haven't been doing what they needed to be doing. We've been taken advantage of. And that money has been allocated to places it should not have went to.
We know just how much Social Security matters to people's lives. Everyone in this room fights for people with disabilities who rely on Social Security to survive. To survive. Not just the physical side, it's the mental side. It's the mental side. You make sure folks get the benefits they earn after a lifetime of hard work. The work they do is more than just...
But Joe Biden, you've been giving the money away. You've been giving the money away. There's people that have been waiting for their damn... What about the people... How about this, Joe Biden? How about the people that have been doing it the right way? People that have been on the job 30, 40 years. They're ready to retire. They're ready to do... They've done it the right way. They've done it the right way. Don't you feel sorry about those people? The people that done it the right way, they're being victimized because you were asleep at the wheel. You allowed the government to be defrauded. You allowed people to come into this country and exhaust those services. You don't feel bad about that. You don't feel bad about that person that's been on the job 30, 40 years, doing it the right way, working, clocking into work every day, taking care of their kids, taking care of their family, doing everything that they need to do. You don't feel bad for them after you have exhausted Social Security, that you allowed all of these illegal immigrants to come in here and exhaust these services. You don't feel bad for the American people that you let down. Somebody says Sloppy Joe. That is sloppy. He is Sloppy Joe. He is Sloppy Joe. That is. It's Sloppy Joe. It's Sloppy Joe. Sleepy Joe, Benadryl Joe, nighttime and daytime cough Joe. It's a lot of names. You know? A lot of names.
Profession, what you do, it's a calling. It's not just a profession. And Social Security is more than a government program. It's a sacred promise. We made it a sacred promise. 73 million Americans receive Social Security. From their first paycheck to their entire life, they pay into Social Security.
So why were you allowing these services to be exhausted? Why were you allowing these services to be exhausted? Why were you allowing illegal immigrants to come in here and exhaust these services that are for people, hardworking, tax-paying citizens in America? Why were you allowing that to happen? Why did you allow fraudsters to defraud the government? Why did you not create a task force to find out who are these people that are requesting Social Security and they're like 130 years old? Who are these people? Why did you not do any of this? Because you was asleep at the wheel. Because you didn't care.
In return, they count on Social Security to be for them when they're going to need it. Folks, must never, ever betray that trust or turn our backs on that obligation. That's why during my presidency, we protected Social Security and made it.
You didn't protect nothing. You didn't protect nothing. You know what you protected? You protected your son. You protected your family because you didn't want them to go to jail. You protected Dr. Fauci. You did not protect Social Security. You allowed millions of people to defraud the government. Millions of dollars allocated, stolen, never to be returned to the people who deserve it. Talking about you protected it. How did you protect it and you allowed it to people to defraud it? Sitting up here talking about the first colored person you ever seen. Let's continue. Let's continue. He got me hot tonight. He got me hot.
Stronger. Martin, the governor can tell you. We came into office, Social Security Administration had its lowest staffing, she referenced it, lowest staffing levels in 50 years. And demand was going through the roof because of my generation and the baby boom generation.
Now, I have to be honest, the baby boomer generation, if we're going to be honest, if we're going to talk about Social Security, a lot of people don't know this. If we're talking about Social Security, we have to be honest about it. The baby boomer generation have ruined Social Security. We got to talk about it. We got to speak frank. The baby boomer generation has ruined Social Security. We have to be honest. Because the likelihood of my generation, I'm the millennial generation, right? They're gonna raise Social Security probably to 88 by the time by the time we get to those ages. The baby boomer generation have diluted it. Like when baby boomers, when they were coming up, they had a set age. It was like what? Maybe back in the 90s, it may have been like 60, maybe like 60, 61 back in those days. The 80s is probably a little bit lower. The baby boomer generation have diluted the Social Security system, to the point where future generations, some of us may never see that money. I'm gonna be honest, because they're going to continue to raise that age gap. It's probably going to go up to 90 at some point for us. Because the baby boomer generation have really diluted and really messed up that whole Social Security system for so long, in my opinion. But this is how I feel. This is how I feel. Yeah, man. But they're going to continue to I'm gonna be honest with you. They may raise it to 100 at some point. 105, 108. Yeah, you'll get it when you're 108. I can see them doing that. I can see them doing that.
Reaching the retirement age. So the demands on Social Security increased significantly. Our administration secured nearly $2 billion to reduce the backlogs and improve customer service.
Hey, hit that like button. We got 17 people in the building. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Do me a favor, hit that like button. You're helping me get back into these algorithms. I'm trying to get back into these algorithms. I'm trying to get back. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you can, please.
We slashed wait time.
And let me know how you guys are feeling in the comment section. Let me know. I want to post you guys comments on the screen. I'm going to post you guys comments on the screen. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comment section.
For folks in need, we're calling the 1-800 number. We got it down to under 13 minutes. It used to be 3 times that long when we took office. We made it easier for people to get help with their claims online. We reduced how long it takes to review a case. We fixed the appeal system to make it uniform.
He's saying all this all while the Social Security system was broken. Are you going to talk about all the people that were defrauding the government? Are you going to talk about all these people that were exhausting these things? Are you going to talk about all the people that were reported as 130, 120, receiving Social Security? Or are you going to talk about that? Or are you going to talk about all the little small things? Talk about all the money that got defrauded out of the Social Security system. It's your fault. You're not talking about that. You're talking about this other stuff. Joey Bay says, I'm a boomer. What are you talking about? I paid into the tax system for 45 years. I earned my retirement Social Security. I paid huge taxes my whole life. Sir, the baby boomer generation ruined Social Security, sir. You guys ruined Social Security. It's all good. And I'm not saying by way of a lot of different things. It's not just, you guys, bloviating the system. I'm also talking about politically. Politically, you guys have ruined the Social Security system. It's been a broken system for a while that needs some updating. And listen, I'm not saying that you don't. I'm not saying that you're not deserving of Social Security. I'm not saying that you didn't pay into the system. I'm not saying that you didn't work hard for 45 years. If you think that's what I'm trying to say, that's not what I'm trying to say. All I'm saying is that the baby boomers have ruined the Social Security system. That's all I'm saying. You didn't hear me say you broke the system. You didn't. Excuse me. You didn't hear me say that you didn't deserve the system. I never said that. I said you guys broke the system. I didn't say you guys didn't deserve it. But you guys did break the system. I didn't say you wasn't deserving of the system. I said that you guys broke the system. That's a whole different argument. You guys broke the system. That's a fact.
All 50 states, which made a difference. We strengthened the anti-fraud measures to protect people's identities and to make sure benefits are going to people who actually they belong to. By the way, those 300-year-old folk getting that Social Security, I want to meet them because I like to figure out how they live out.
Yeah, I think he's talking about it right here. But let me rewind that one back because I feel like he was talking about that. Let me go back for 1 second.
Anti-fraud measures to protect people's identities and to make sure benefits are going to people who actually they belong to.
That's cap. We found out that was cap. That was cap. There was plenty of people that were defrauding the government. Plenty of people that defrauded the government. You did not do a good job. You did not do a diligent job in making sure that the government was not being defrauded. You did not do a good job. FBA says my main man Biden. Are you a Biden supporter, FBA? Let me find out. You a Biden supporter, FBA? Are you a Biden supporter, FBA?
By the way, those 300-year-old folk getting that Social Security, I want to meet them because I like to figure out how they live out. He's talking about when Elon Musk said that not Elon Musk but Trump said that somebody that's 300 years old. Well, you got to remember, Joe Biden, you allowed this to happen. You allowed it to happen. You allowed the government to be defrauded. I don't think that Trump and Elon Musk is making those claims up. Do you guys think that Trump and Elon Musk are making those claims up? I don't believe that they are. I 1000% believe that we have millions of people defrauding the government by way of Social Security. Absolutely. And I believe that there is somebody out there that has defrauded the government that's 300 years that's claiming to be 300 years old that's defrauding the government. I absolutely believe that. Joe Biden's been asleep at the wheel. He doesn't care. He doesn't look over these things. He hasn't made he's claiming he had things to teams and like organizations to look into these claims and things like that. But I disagree with that. I don't think he has been doing that. He's clearly been asleep at the wheel. When we find out all the money that has been allocated, all of the money that has been defrauded from the government, clearly you haven't been doing a good job keeping track of these things. So you expect me for me to believe that you were on top of these things? I don't believe that for a second.
The government was being defrauded under your watch. You did not care. You was too busy, eating ice cream, giving billions of dollars to Ukraine, billions of dollars to Israel. You wasn't looking into these things. You didn't care about the well-being of American people. You didn't care about the taxpayers. You didn't care about the Social Security system. You was too busy giving Ukraine billions of dollars and eating ice cream. You didn't care about these things. Let's be real.
Looking for longevity, because it's hell when you turn 40 years old. But as a result, by the time we left office, we had improved every single line of customer service.
FBA says, hold Biden all day. Hold Biden all day. Let's get back to this speech. Hold on. Let me get back to the speech. Hold on.
From applying for disability to filing an appeal to reporting fraud. It all became more efficient and more effective.
Let me know if you are a Joe Biden supporter. Let me know if you are Joe Biden. Do you feel like he was a good president, a trash president, a fairly well president? Let me know in that poll.
Made your jobs easier, too, in the process. Now, these achievements.
Hold on. Somebody says, do I prefer Trump?
May not sound so glamorous to most people, but they're absolutely essential.
G-Tech says, do you prefer Trump? Hold on. Let me address that. G-Tech says, do you prefer Trump? No, I do not prefer Trump. I prefer neither. I don't prefer Trump. I think Trump is doing a bad job right now. I don't know how Trump is going to win this trade war. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that he bit off more than he can chew. Those other countries, beefing with those countries. We have power in those other countries, but China is a big fish. When it comes to trade, when it comes to technology, when it comes to in terms of the raw materials, in terms of the manufacturing, all of these things China dominates in. So I think he bit off more than he could chew beefing with China in this trade war. So if you're asking me if I preferred Trump, no, I don't prefer Trump. I don't prefer neither one. I think Trump is doing a bad job right now, and Joe Biden has been doing a terrible job for 4 years. Yeah, if you ask me, but let's get back into it.
Jobs of any elected official is to make sure the government works for the people, works for all people. It's understandable. They can understand what it is. And then we keep our promises to the people, to all the people. That's exactly what we did.
James says better than what we got now.
Also signed into law the Social Security Fairness Act.
Yeah, how do you guys, let me know in the chat, how do you guys feel about the job Trump has been doing? It's been over 100 days now. We could be honest. It's been over 100 days now. And I know some of you in here voted for Trump. I know some of you did. I see my analytics. I know a lot of you voted for Trump. I remember I did 100 live stream shows. Trump won every time in the polls. I know you guys voted for Trump. How do you feel about his first 100 days in office? How do you feel? He's done. Listen, he hasn't done a terrible job with everything. I think he's done some good. There's some good he's done. There's some good that he has done, but I think he's bitten off more than he can chew on a couple of key things. But let me know what you guys think of the job Trump has been doing so far.
That act eliminated 2 unfair rules, so public employees wouldn't get shortchanged. The government pension offset and the windfall elimination provision can never come in ever again.
And I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button for me, please. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I need y'all to help me out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
So as a result, more than 2 million people are now finally receiving the full benefits they earned. And remember, we also faced a constant threat by some members, Republican members of the Congress, to cut and gut Social Security, period. Cut and gut it, period.
I am so tired of Joe Biden with this period. He sounds like a city girl. Period. He sounds like a city girl. Stop with the period. 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 Are you a city girl, Joe Biden? What was with the period? Period. He's been doing that for so long. I'm tired of that, bro. Period. Period. And listen, if in terms of the Republicans cutting Social Security, listen, at least they didn't let Social Security get defrauded. The Republicans are exposing Social Security getting defrauded. You didn't do that. You didn't expose all of the fraud that was happening in Social Security. You were allowing it. So at least the Republicans are allowing people to see that the system is broken, that we may need to update and may need to change some things in terms of Social Security, because people are defrauding the system. This money is supposed to go to hardworking people who have paid into it. It's now being infiltrated by people from other places, people that are frauding it. There's other entities that are imposing themselves and taking advantage of the Social Security system. The Democrats allowed this to happen. The Republicans are at least exposing it and trying to fix these things and trying to mend these fences.
They wanted to let Social Security expire every 5 years. That was the proposal. Let it expire every 5 years unless reauthorized by the Congress. Who in the hell?
Sam says he can't stand the lies of Joe Biden. Salute to Sam. Salute to Sam.
What do they think they are? Every 5 years and then wait around and be...
Hold on, y'all. I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, please, y'all. I'm trying to get back into that algorithm. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into Sleepy Joe.
I will not go further or get in trouble. But
let's get back into Sleepy Joe. Get your NyQuil ready. Get your Robitussin ready. Get your Benadryl ready. Get your sleeping pills ready. It's Sleepy Joe time. Get your warm glass of milk. Fluff up your pillow. Get your bedtime snacks. It's Sleepy Joe time.
Can you imagine the chaos it would have charged? Every 5 years, Congress is going to step up. Imagine this Congress.
Salute to Eric. Eric said he subscribed. Salute to Eric. Thank you for subscribing, Eric. Thank you for sponsoring this war. Salute to you. Salute to Eric. Salute to Eric. He said he is subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. He says, good evening. I subscribe. Salute, 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 salute. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Salute.
Stepping up. They threatened to raise the retirement age as well. Now, that might not be a hardship.
Now, that's just I just told y'all, they are going to continue to raise the retirement age. Like, you know, if you're a millennial like me, I told you guys, I think they're going to raise the age into like the 80s or to the 90s. They are going to dramatically raise the age on retirement for millennials. And this is why I said earlier that baby boomers have ruined the Social Security system. And they don't see what I'm not saying, like I said to this person before that was talking, I'm not saying that baby boomers weren't deserving of the Social Security. I'm saying that by sheer numbers, how long they've been in the system, and just different entities and different things, and also politically, the baby boomers have destroyed the Social Security system. Absolutely. Absolutely, the baby boomers have destroyed the Social Security system. But that doesn't mean that they're not deserving of it. I'm not saying that they're not deserving of it. I'm saying that they destroyed it. They messed it up. Salute to King Josh. King Josh says, King Josh says, I sub. Salute to King Josh. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sponsoring this war. Salute to you. Yeah, but the baby boomers did a number on the Social Security system. I mean, I don't think we could dispute that. I don't think we could dispute that the baby boomers did a number. And it's not just by, you know, it's different things how they messed up the Social Security system. It's not just one thing. So it's a bevy of different things.
For someone working in a comfortable job. But if you're on your feet all day, you're doing manual labor all day, you're working with a disability, it's a very different matter. And then,
Hit that like button, y'all. Like I said, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
they may be trying to face cuts in Social Security during the negotiation of the debt ceiling. These are wonderful guys. Last time this guy had the job, he raised the debt ceiling because of an enormous and profligate tax cut to the super wealthy.
He's trying to kick in the back of Donald Trump because I'm not gonna lie. Donald Trump has been kicking in the back of Joe Biden. He every time he gets a chance, he says that Joe Biden's the worst. Oh, he's the worst president we've ever had. He's garbage. He's just terrible. So I'm gonna allow Joe Biden to kick in the back of Trump because Donald Trump, he kicks it every time he gets a chance. He kicks in the back of Biden. So I think Joe Biden is deserving to at least talk some trash about Donald Trump.
And then he said, look, then they started talking to us, his colleagues. Well, maybe we can do something about Social Security, but we got to do something about the debt ceiling. How are we going to we can find the money in Social Security. Unless we do what they wanted. They wanted to cut Social Security. Not on my watch. We refuse to go along with any of that.
Not on your watch, but you allowed the government to be defrauded. You allowed the government to allocate millions and millions of dollars to ridiculous programs. Let's give $1 million to make mice transgender. Let's give $100 million to Stacey Abrams. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? You gave millions and millions and billions, billions of dollars to ridiculous programs. LGBTQ in Brazil. Propaganda. We're going to go out there and do LGBTQ propaganda. What are you talking about? You allowed Social Security to be defrauded. And you gave billions of dollars to ridiculous programs. Stop it. Stop it, Joe. Just stop it.
Look, Americans have always been able to count on these benefits. And let me pause a second here and say this. We talk about the physical needs that Social Security provides for people, particularly people, hardworking people, people retired, people on the edge. But the psychological impact is profound. Profound. You're a man or a woman, you're 70s, 80 years old, you're not in good shape, you have a disability, and you hear the check may not come. How do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night?
You didn't care about that. You didn't care about that because you were exhausting the system. People defrauding it, allocating that money to places that it shouldn't never went. You didn't care about that. So I don't understand why you care about it now. And it's so convenient that you care about it now when you're out of office. But when all the defrauding was happening, you didn't do anything. Did any of you guys hear him mention anything about Social Security? About Social Security being defrauded? About Social Security, people allocating money to places shouldn't have went to Social Security ages, of ages of people being 130 years old, 200 years old. Did any of you hear him mention any of this? I didn't hear him speak a word of any of this. But now you're the patron saint of Social Security. That's crazy.
We lived up in Wilmington in a 3-bedroom split-level home in a new development, 40 homes, with 4 kids and a grandpa living with us. And I remember our bed headboard was near my dad's and mom's room. And you could tell when Dad was restless. I remember asking one night my mom, what's the matter with Dad the next morning? She said, it's found out that we're not going to provide insurance anymore where he works. Well, imagine if you're somebody who's been struggling your whole life, You literally count on Social Security to buy your food, just to get by. And you hear the threats, what may happen. Many of these beneficiaries, that's their only income. If they were cut or taken away, it would be devastating for millions of people. And the psychological pressure we put people under by having this debate is absolutely devastating. That's why we work so damn hard to make Social Security Administration stronger than it's been in years.
You was not working hard for the American people. Why you lying? You was not working hard. You were asleep at the wheel. You were literally in the White House eating ice cream, picking your nose. Of course, you got to get your scheduled naps in. That's what you were doing.
You don't find that suspicious?
Stop acting like you were the patron saint of Social Security, Joe Biden. You were not that. We didn't hear you mention none of the stuff that Trump brought up about all of the things that were happening in terms of Social Security being defrauded. We didn't hear you mention none of that. So I don't understand why you're acting like you're the patron saint of Social Security and you did everything to protect it. I disagree with that. And it's kind of offensive because we know you wasn't doing that.
But now, the technology division of Social Security Administration has been cut in half. And so the website's crashing.
Eric Yoda said an interesting question. He says, how do you stop, how can you stop the people who misuse Social Security? That's kind of a complex question. Are you speaking about people defrauding it? There's plenty of ways you can find out about people defrauding Social Security. First of all, there needs to be some type of organization or task force that looks into these cases. Why is there somebody that's over 200 years old, older than America? Donald Trump said there's somebody older than America receiving Social Security. There's people that are 135 receiving Social Security. Is anybody looking into these cases? Is anybody doing a check on these cases, finding out who these people are, where they live, or authenticating any of these claims? Is anybody looking into any of these claims? There needs to be some type of task force. It needs to be some type of people looking in. When you see something suspicious, I think the Social Security system should work almost like a credit card company. When you see suspicious claims, suspicious payments, money being allocated to places it should not be going to, it should be looked into. Just like a credit card company, just like a banking system, just like all of these things, it should be looked into. It needs to be looked into. Absolutely. Eric said there needs to be an age limit on the presidency. What he said, there need to be an age limit on the presidency. What would be the age limit that you would say? Do you what age limit? Where would be the cutoff point? Where would be the cutoff point? Because I think 35 is a good age to start at. 35 is a good age to start at. But where would you say that would be the cutoff point? What would you say? Would you say 60s, 70s, 80s? Where would you cut it off at? Because listen, there's still some older men that are very wise. They may not be the most able-bodied. They may not be the most energetic, but they are mentally sharp, mentally intelligent. So where would be the cutoff point? It's really dependent on the person, to be honest with you, because there's some sharp older men. They may not be as able-bodied as they once were, but there's some very sharp older men. Yeah, man, it is money laundering. But Eric, where would be the cutoff point for you? What age would you say the cutoff point would be for you in terms of the presidency?
Imagine the panic that causes if you're a retiree living alone with only Social Security to depend upon. So now people are overwhelming the phone lines. They're showing up at the local Social Security office, tearful and frantic, and told, "Do you have an appointment?" In that tone, by the way. I can give you a personal example if I'm not going to To cap it all off, serious people are now generally concerned for the first time in history, for the first and only time in history, that Social Security benefits may be delayed or interrupted.
This is the same man that allowed the government to be defrauded. He allowed the government to be defrauded. Think about it. Your grandmother, she's been working 40, 50 years at that same job. She's ready to retire. She's ready to, live out her golden years, do the things that she's always wanted to do. She want to get off this tired job. And there's somebody out there that's defrauding the government, taking her money. Because your grandmother, she's paid into the system for 40 years. She's paid into the system for 50 years. That's her money. But there's somebody out there that's and they're probably from another country, or they're probably some type of scam artist from this country that's just scamming the people of this country. But probably more than likely it's somebody from another country scamming. It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. It really is. It's very disgusting. And something needs to happen. And Joe Biden wasn't a patron saint of that. He didn't tell. I did not hear him mention one time about all of the defrauding that was happening. That's just a fact. He talked about Ukraine. He talked about Israel. He talked about EV, electric vehicles, climate control. He talked about all of these different things, but I never heard him mention one time about Social Security being defrauded. Never, not one time did I hear that from him. But now he wants to act like he's the patron saint of Social Security, which is crazy to me. Very crazy to me when you allowed all this defrauding to happen. And let's not mention all the defrauding you allowed to happen with outside of the Social Security system. All the money you allocated to Stacey Abrams, $100 million, a program that only made $100 the year before. You allowed this woman to get $100 million for a climate control program. That's ridiculous. That's terrible money management. LGBTQ propaganda programs. Let's spend $2 million on making mice transgender. You allowed all of this money laundering scams to exist. You allowed it. You empowered the Democrats in their nonsense. But you want to act like you're a patron saint of Social Security? You're working for the people that worked hard for their money? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Let's continue.
He was president coming out of the Great Depression. He and all his colleagues saw great suffering.
We got 35 people in the building. I need you to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you voted for Sleepy Joe, Benadryl Joe, NyQuil Joe, Daytime Cough Joe, Robitussin Joe, Sleeping Pill Joe. Let me know if you voted for him. Let me know if you didn't vote for him. Let me know if you voted for Trump. Let me know. Let me know in that chat.
So much.
Let me know in that chat.
He also took steps to raise standard of living for ordinary Americans, including creating Social Security. He himself was from a very wealthy family. He didn't need Social Security, but understood how much it would mean to millions of...
You didn't need Social Security, too. You've been in politics for what, 40 some odd years? You gave all of your family members cushy jobs in government, giving your son all of these different political jobs and political things. All of the things just swept underneath the rug for him. You didn't need Social Security either. So don't act like it was just Trump that didn't need Social Security. You didn't need it either. Clearly.
He knew it would make America stronger in the process. And it has. It makes our economy stronger. It makes the community stronger. It makes families stronger. It gives peace of mind.
Trump is now in his first.
Oh, come on. We got some more Trump propaganda. What's going on here? What we talking about? 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 Let's get back to this Sleepy Joe.
Americans, including many wealthy Americans, still support, thank God, Social Security. And very wealthy billionaires still support Social Security. They may not rely on themselves, but they know. Social Security deserves to be protected for the good of the nation.
Eric Yoda says, I work for a job for somebody with 61 years old, almost 62, and the factory closed down. They worked there all their lives, and now they have to go somewhere else and wait till 65 or something just to retire. Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's crazy out there. You know, it's real. It's real.
As a whole, you got to ask yourself, why is this happening? Why are these guys taking aim at Social Security now? Well, they're following that old line from tech startups. The quote is, move fast, break things. Well, they're certainly breaking things. They're shooting first.
I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get back into these algorithms. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into it.
As a result, the result is a lot of needless pain and sleepless nights. My friend Governor O'Malley knows what they're really up to. He says, and I love his quote, they want to wreck it so they can rob it.
So I guess that's the new Democratic thing. They're trying to say that the Republicans are trying to ruin Social Security. I don't think American people are going to buy that, respectfully. Joe Biden, if that's what you're trying to claim, if you're trying to claim that the Republicans are trying to destroy or take away Social Security, I don't think a lot of American people are going to fall for that. And the reason why is when they seen Donald Trump go on did the State of the Union address in front of Congress, and he was telling the people about all the money that was being allocated to all of these ridiculous programs that happen underneath your watch. When he talked about all of the programs, whether it be the program that turned mice into transgenders, and you spent millions of dollars on that, and Stacey Abrams getting $100 million for a climate control program, all of these different little programs, and then when you try to get back to Social Security, and we hear about all of the Social Security being defrauded, people are not going to buy. Oh, Republicans are trying to take away Social Security. They're not going to buy that. They're not going to buy that. I'm just going to be honest, because we saw all of the stuff that you did. We saw all of the ridiculous stuff that you allowed. So I mean, people are not going to fall for that. Bud says, I want to see him in prison. He wants to see Joe Biden in prison. Listen, man, Joe Biden did a lot of dirt, man. He did a lot of dirt, man. He did a lot of dirt for his sons. He swept a lot of stuff underneath the rug. He did a lot of dirt. They
want to wreck it so they can rob it. And why do they want to rob it? In order to deliver huge tax cuts to billionaires and big corporations and keep it going. They want to make permanent the 2017 tax cuts, which overwhelmingly benefits the wealthiest Americans and the biggest corporations. That's going to cost $5 trillion. Where are they going to get $5 trillion to pay for it, other than continue to run the deficit up? Well, where they always do, by running up the national debt, number one, and then by taking the money from someplace else. What are the two big pots of money out there in raw numbers? Social Security and Medicaid. Well, from other programs that people rely on and have paid into. Republicans, these guys are willing to hurt the middle class and the working class in order to deliver significant greater wealth to the already very wealthy. Who in the hell do they think they are? I really think just basic decency. Who do you think they are? I think anybody should go out. They can make $1 billion a year. They can, fine. Pay your fair share. You know.
You didn't make your son pay his fair share. You didn't make your son pay his debt to society. You want Trump the felon to make him pay his fair share, but you didn't let your son pay his fair share. You protected your son. Kind of sound like a hypocrite to me. Sound like a hypocrite. Sound like a hypocrite to me.
What the average? We have 1,000 billionaires in America. You know the average federal tax they pay? 8.2%. Anybody want to trade that number? What you're paying? Folks, look. Let me close up.
I'm not mad at billionaires getting taxed. I'm not mad at that. I think that the billionaires should be getting taxed. I think they should be getting taxed heavily. They should be getting taxed. We haven't seen evidence that Trump is taking care of his billionaire, proponent. Well, we kind of see that coming. Like, I'm not going to be oblivious to that. There's a reason why Elon, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos is at the inauguration. There's a reason that they're there. We can't be oblivious to that. There's clearly, one hand washing the other there. But I have nothing against billionaires getting taxed. I think billionaires should be getting taxed and taxed appropriately. Absolutely.
Sorry to go on so long, but it's just anyway. I grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania as a kid, and
I think he just lost train of thought. Sometimes Joe Biden just loses his train of thought. I think he just lost his train of thought. I'm never gonna run that back.
Middle class towns, working class towns, places where people worked hard all their lives with the promise that they'd be able to retire someday with a little bit of dignity. Because they've been paying in a thing called Social Security since the very paycheck they ever earned. These people get knocked down every day, learn to get up. My dad's one expression: you get knocked down, just get up. Get up. They get up every day. The last thing they need from their government is deliberate cruelty. It's about people and neighbors across the country who look out for each other. You don't see empathy. They don't see it as a sign of weakness. They see empathy as a decent instinct. They don't see cruelty as a sign of strength. Social Security is about more than retirement accounts. It's about honoring a fundamental trust between government and people. It's about peace of mind for those who work their whole lives, so they can rest assured they'll have a chance.
If a man really hated ads, here's...
let's wrap this up, old white man. Like, honestly. Let's wrap this up, man. You didn't have all this sentiment in your heart when the government was getting defrauded. Let's wrap this up, man. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap up this speech, man.
But more than anything else,
let's wrap it up.
It comes down to basic, in my view, fundamental American values. Nobody's the boss. Everybody has a shot. Honesty, decency. Where hard work is rewarded. Have some faith in each other. Fairness, simple fairness. We can't go on like this as a divided nation, as divided as we are.
You made it divided. You made it divided, Joe Biden. You divided. You got the country questioning if we should have a man in a female sports. You got the country questioning LGBTQ and all this other stuff. You made it divided. Why the Democrats keep acting like they haven't created the cultural divide? The Democrats have created all of these cultural divides, and the reason they created all these cultural divides is because they wanted to infiltrate all these different communities. They wanted to infiltrate the LGBTQ. Let's get that LGBTQ vote. Let's go to the black community. Let's try to get that vote. Let's go to the immigrant community. Let's try to get that vote. Let's go to the Hispanic community. Let's try to get that vote. You infiltrated all of these different communities that have all different agendas and things that they're trying to get passed for them. And when you work with all these different communities, trying to make everybody happy, because you can't make everybody happy. That's not realistic. They feel like you've turned their backs on them. Because in reality, you can't make them all happy. You can't make all these communities happy. But you tried, and you epically failed. And that's really why we got a lot of cultural division. That's why we're more divisive than we've ever been in a country. Let's be real. We're very divisive. This country is very divided and divisive. And it's very much because of the cultural divide that the Democrats have propagated. It's very much because of the liberals and a lot of the things that they've been doing while we're so divisive today. I mean, let's just be real. It's just real. It's just real. Give me 1 second, Charles. This is a weirdo. Let me get rid of this dude. Why are you here then? Why are you here, bro? Get out of here.
Like I said, I've been doing this a long time. It's never been this divided. Granted, it's roughly 30%, but it's a 30% that has no heart. What we see in America. That's what we believe in, fairness. And that's the America we can never forget or walk away from. Folks, I mean this. I know it sounds trite, but I have to remember who.
All right, Joe Biden. I can't do it no more with this monotone ass speech. This monotone ass speech. I can't do it. I can't do it. This speech is just too monotone. It's just too monotone. It's too monotone. I'm getting ready to fall asleep with this speech. Yeah, but that was Joe Biden in his speech, his first speech since leaving office. Let me just read the poll, because I do want to read that. I do want to read the poll in terms of the speech he laid down. How do you feel about the presidency of Joe Biden? This was his first speech back, after leaving office. Just want to read the poll. How do you process his presidency? 63% said he was the worst president ever. Worst president ever. 15% said he was a good president. 15%. This is out of 41 votes. And 22% says, man, so he was like middle of the road. But 63% said that he was the worst president ever. Worst. Even I don't think he was the worst. Do I think he was bad? Yes, but worst? I mean, come on. I don't think he was the worst. But I understand. I understand where you guys are coming from. I understand. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section in terms of Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe, Benadryl Joe, nighttime and daytime cough Joe, NyQuil Joe, I say Benadryl Joe, sleeping pill Joe. Let me know in the comment section in terms of what you guys think of his presidency. Let me know. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more political discussions. We're gonna have more political discussions. We're gonna have more discussions on this, all things politics. We're gonna get back into politics and get more into that. I've been taking a break from that, but we're gonna get back into it. So make sure you guys come on back. We're gonna do more streams on politics and more streams on this. So I would love to see you guys back. But with that being said, you guys have a good night, a productive night. This is the check-in report. Make sure you guys comment. Subscribe. Actually, right now, make sure you guys subscribe right now. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. I would love to have you guys back. I want to see you guys back. We're gonna have more discussions on politics, different things. I have to talk about Jasmine Crockett. I have to talk about Jasmine Crockett. I have to get into her. We have in a bevy of different things we have to get into. So I want you guys to come on back. Donald Trump and this trade war. We got to talk about that. We're gonna have more political discussions. So it'll be exciting. So you guys have a good night. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We are out. Toodles.